Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. I am Syed Faraz Siddiq, working as assistant professor in Acharya Institute of Technology in Civil Engineering Department. So, the today's session is regarding dream big. If you can dream it, you can do it. So, I am very thankful to MFIRD, that is Millat Foundation for Industry Research and Development, for giving me an opportunity to present my session or present my webinar in front of the audience. And I would like to thank a few important people who have been supporting me throughout this journey. That is Tausif sir, Saif sir, and Dr. Burhan sir. They have given me an opportunity so that I can present this session in front of you. Thank you so much, everyone. So I'm going to start the session now. Dream big. If you can dream it, you can do it. See, dream is basically not that you see while you're asleep. Dream is something that doesn't let you sleep. This is the definition of a dream. And these are the contents what we will be discussing in today's session. What is dream? Where do we stand to pursue our dreams? How to achieve our dreams? Turning dreams into goals, and few motivational success stories where we will be motivated and we will think in that perspective. Dream, dream, dream. Once it was said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, dreams transforms into thoughts and thoughts results in action. Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is a language of soul. Pay attention to your imagination and you will discover all you need to be fulfilled. While you're asleep, we will have a small activity here. I want the audience to close your eyes. See, because this is an online session, I'll not be able to see you. But I kindly request everyone to close your eyes and imagine yourself in a position which you want to become in life. You have a dream of becoming an engineer. You have a dream of becoming a police officer. You have a dream of becoming a doctor or a surgeon. You have a dream of becoming a sportsman. I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine for a minute. Imagine for a minute you're a police officer. For example, I'm just taking this as an example. You're a police officer and you're dressed in uniform, okay? And you're in your home, okay? And you're standing in front of your parents. Can you just feel how happy your dad or your mom will be seeing you in that respective designation, seeing you in that respective uniform? Can you just see how happy do they feel seeing you succeed in your life, seeing you achieving your dream, that you have become an engineer or a doctor or a sportsman or a police officer, whatever might be the designation? For that happiness, we have to work towards our dream. Let us move on to the next presentation. Dream of becoming an IPS officer. The person you see here is Annamalai Kupuswamy. He is an IPS, Indian Police Service officer. It is a very big designation. Dream of joining Indian Navy. Wounded and broken, but still I stand tall. No challenge too overbearing and no fear too consuming. Dream of joining Indian Air Force. If sky is the limit, go there. Dream of becoming a doctor, a surgeon. Dream of becoming a teacher. Now, I am also a teacher, so I wanted to stop here. I wanted to show something with reference to a teacher. So before I show you the clip, I just want to tell you, there was a small kid. This is a real story, okay? There was a small kid who was diagnosed with nervous system disorder called as Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome. Basically, what is Tourette syndrome? It is a nervous system disorder where the person or a child has involuntary actions or involuntary noises that are coming out from his mouth. Later, as he grew up, he had a dream of becoming a teacher. Now, for a teacher, you know that communication skills are very, very important. You have to very well communicate with the students or with the staff or with the principal, yes, communication skills are very, very important. But Tourette syndrome was a drawback, or this was a disability which laid him back. So let us see what was his struggle and how he conquered that struggle. And he had given n number of interviews in many number of schools, and he was rejected. He was not at all taken, because in front of students, if you're not able to communicate well, if you're not able to speak well in front of students, then it becomes a drawback. Let us see that clip, audience. Give me a minute. I need response from someone here. Can you guys see the screen? Hello? Hello?
Yuvraj sir.
Yes, sir.
Today we're going to be talking about fractions. Fractions are your friend. Use fractions in everyday life. You just don't realize it.
One day without you acting up.
But what would take a normal person an hour took me 2 or 3. I mean, I loved learning, but I hated reading. Trying to concentrate brought out the worst in my constant companion.
I'm sorry that you can't study. I promise I won't make any more silly noises ever again.
Take your seat. All of you, back to your books.
Rats.
Sorry.
It's okay. You can do this, all right? See, there's a reason.
What can we do to help you, Brad?
I just want to be treated like everybody else.
Few words, a little education, and it was like opening a door to a brand new world. Now someday, some way I knew, Tourette's or no Tourette's, I was going to be a teacher. This is Brad. Coping with my Tourette's has taught me the most valuable lesson that anyone could ever learn. And that is to never let anything stop you from chasing your dream.
Just 1 minute. Yes, I hope everybody is able to see my screen now. The PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So that was with reference to Tourette syndrome. So he had a disability, but he did not stop at any cost. He did not stop. He wanted to achieve his dream. He wanted to conquer his dream. So he made sure that Tourette or no Tourette, he was anyhow going to achieve his dream of becoming a lawyer, a judge, dream of becoming a journalist. During COVID times, during wars, during earthquakes, during natural disasters, everywhere and anywhere, journalists have been providing news and the pictures, all these things to us. Dream of becoming a sportsman. Now, there's something written here onto the screen. I do make a difference. I do make a difference. I do make a difference. Yes. You're working in an organization, you do make a difference. You are working, you are going to school, you're sitting in a last bench, you do make a difference. You are doing some low level job, yes, you do make a difference. You're doing a high profile job, you do make a difference. This is what you need to understand. You are created for something very important. Okay, so you have to make sure, you have to fill this in your mind as well as in your heart, that you do make a difference on this universe. Now once we have understood about the dream, now moving on to the next part of the presentation, where do we stand to pursue our dreams? Let us try to understand this. Now I want each one of you to imagine yourself onto that respective step. Any task is given to you, where do you see yourself? I want everybody to type into the chat box and tell me which step have you reached today in your life. Either it is step 1, 2, 3, or which step have you reached in your life. Can you guys please type in the chat box so that I can see your responses? The first student or the first person here says that I won't do it, I can't do it, I want to do it. So this you can imagine yourself and you can type into the chat box. So we have got 8 here. Yes, excellent. Yes, I did it. What about others? Can I get a quick response from others as well? Yes, excellent. We are getting responses. Yes. Okay. So we have to analyze ourselves and we have to understand which step have we reached today. Whether it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 step. Okay, thank you so much, Khalif sir and others who have responded for this. Thank you so much. Yes. Now, there is something which is very important related to these, known as locus of control. What is locus of control? Extent to which individual believe they have control or influence over the events affecting them. So the first person here you see is internal locus of control. That is, I control my destiny. There are few things which are under my control, and yes, I blame it to myself. And if I succeed, yes, the success is from my side. And external locus of control, they control my destiny and I start blaming others. Now let us try to understand what is internal locus of control and what is external locus of control in detail. Now you feel like you have control over your life's events. You can see this person here in the green shirt is very happy. Okay, what is the reason behind his happiness? You see an obstacle as a challenge and not as a barrier. You believe in your ability to influence world around you. You are motivated and definitely you are going to aim for the success. Those who practice an internal locus of control feel more efficient in their day-to-day actions or day-to-day activities. Individuals have higher self-esteem than a person with an external locus of control. I will give you an example as well with reference to internal locus of control as well as external locus of control. Now, external locus of control, you feel like you have little control over events in your life. You may attribute an outcome to faith, luck, or efforts of another person. You are less likely to try something because you believe you can't make a difference. You are less likely to take responsibility for your actions. Those who are external may suffer emotionally because they do not give themselves credit for personal achievements. Individuals that are highly external can start to feel hopeless and like they have lost control. Now, once I have told you about internal locus of control and external locus of control, I want you guys to think about it and tell me which locus of control do you fall in. I will give you an instance. Suppose you fail in an examination. I'm just giving you an example. You fail in an examination. So basically, when you fail in an examination, you start blaming others. You start blaming the teacher. You start blaming the principal. You start blaming the school. You start blaming the weather condition. It was raining, so I could not study. So I went to sleep. You start blaming social media networks. So I was busy watching Facebook, Instagram, so I could not study. You are always blaming the outside surrounding you. So in case of internal locus of control, you take the blame yourself. Yes, I did not prepare well, so I have failed in the examination. You understanding? So having internal locus of control, if you want, let me give you one more example. Now, a person comes to any one of us, or a person comes to me as telling that I have too many issues. I have too many issues with reference to my salary. I'm not able to manage my home. My salary is very less. In a company, he's working in some company and his salary is very less. Now he tells me that, when he tells me that, I tell him that in the same company there is another person who is getting more salary than, somewhere across 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees. Yes, why is there difference between him and the other person? Because of the value. You have to enhance yourself. You have to educate yourself. You have to invest in yourself. When you start investing in yourself, obviously you can see the results. When you see the results, definitely there are going to be promotions happening. There are going to be increase in salaries. Yes, definitely you're going to reach your goal or achieve your goal in your life. I hope you have understood about internal locus of control and external locus of control. Now, can I quickly get responses from audience, whether you fall into internal locus of control or you fall into external locus of control? Can you guys please respond? Internal locus of control. Excellent. Yes, great. Excellent. Thank you so much for your responses. Yes, great. So let us move on to the next part of the presentation once we have understood what is internal locus of control and what is external locus of control. See, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. You have a dream of becoming something in life. You want to become an entrepreneur, and you just want to become an entrepreneur, and you don't have goals that you have set out for that. There are no goals. You don't know about goals, only you only dream. Then definitely it is going to end up in a very huge disappointment. You're not going to achieve your dream at any cost. You're not at all going to achieve your dream if you do not have your dreams planned accordingly based on goals, and these goals should result in action. Now let us try to understand how to turn your dreams into goals. This is very important. You have to understand. Once Greg Reed quoted, "A dream written down with a date becomes a goal." Now, I want everyone to have a diary book with you. If you definitely want to achieve your dream, you have to do this. I want everyone to write down your dream today. Today it is 17/10/2021. You're going to write down a dream with a date, and that is going to become your goal. That is your long-term goal. And this goal you're breaking down into n number of short-term goals. You're going to break it down into n number of short-term goals, and achieving these short-term goals make you feel happy. You'll be happy about achieving a simple goal in your life, and These short-term goals are again backed up by a plan or backed up by action. You have to respond. Okay, involuntarily you're telling, okay, sir, we have written down short-term goals and long-term goals. We have written down the dream. Is it done? No, it is not done. Until and unless you start working towards it, until and unless you do a little bit of action. So you have to follow Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You have written down something and you're working towards it. Definitely there will be a reaction that is definitely going to achieve that you will be able to achieve your dream. Understanding? Yes. Now, why do we need to first let us try to understand how to achieve our dream. These are the 3 important steps that you have to follow. Create with clarity specific dream. What does this mean? So you need to have a clarity. Proper clarity should be there with reference to your dream. With reference to your dream. Now, a few of you will tell us that, sir, we do not have any clarity what to do in life. Most of the students nowadays are facing the same issue, that they don't have clarity, that they don't know why they're sitting in the class, that they don't know what is their dream. They're not focused. They don't know what they want to do in life. Not a problem. You have to just do this. So you sit down in a corner. 1 minute. Okay. You have to sit down and you have to be alone. Take a sheet of paper and write down things which you are good at. Write down the things that you are good at, and similarly write down things in which you are bad. For example, if you're bad in communication skills, so what do? You have to every day start reading an article. You start with 5 minutes. Okay, sir, 5 minutes is too much. We do not have time to spend 5 minutes. No issues. You start with 2 minutes. Read a small article. Next day, you increase it by another 2 minutes. Make it 5 minutes. The third day, make it as 10 minutes. The fourth day, make it as 15 minutes, 20 minutes. As going on, you have to reach to a place where you sit at one stretch and read it for half an hour. An article, it might be newspaper, it might be any storybooks. Yes, that is definitely going to improve your communication skills. The second point, refuse to stay discouraged. See, your family members, your teachers, or your friends, they might discourage you. You're not capable of doing anything. Never listen to them. Never listen to them. See, you have within yourself a dream which you have to conquer, which you have to focus. Once you chisel that out, definitely, I assure you that you are going to shine like a star. You should always be confident. You should never be discouraged in your life. The third point here is be more interested in growth than comfort, in service of your dream. So you have already reached a place, you have already got a very good job where you're earning 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees per month, and you are comfortable there, and you want to stay in that respective comfortable zone. But you can do much great things in that respective stream. So why do you stop when you are comfort? No, you should never stop when you are comfortable. Okay, I have completely, I am set down. I do not want to do anything else. Whatever I'm doing is sufficient for me and I will proceed. No, you should not have such kind of attitude. You need to continuously upgrade yourself. One of my lecturer used to tell this in our college. If you're not getting upgraded, listen to this very carefully. If you're not getting upgraded, you are outdated. You are outdated. So this you have to keep in your mind. Every day is a new day and new learning. You have to learn something new from each and every day. So this is how you achieve your dream from 3 important aspects. Now, what is the importance of goal setting? You might ask me, sir, I have a dream of becoming a doctor. Now, why do I need goals? Why do I need goals? See, dream is something very huge, very huge. And directly seeing that or directly visualizing that, I'll not be able to achieve it. So you need to have goals set down. Either it is long-term goals or it might be short-term goals. See, short-term goals, you can plan it for daily basis. Every day or weekly basis, you can plan your short-term goals. When you achieve it, you feel sense of satisfaction. You feel sense of happiness. Okay. Now, let me give you a few important points for setting your goals. It allows you to work towards your dream life, and it is one of the biggest advantage. And it helps you to see your future more clearly. Setting goals, I'm talking about setting goals. And by setting goals, you're thinking about what you want from life. Goals are a great way to help you to live with intention. Now, why is it important? Because living with intention helps you to become more proactive. When you have got your list of goals to work towards, it really helps you to keep focused on your dream. That is the reason I'm telling you, you need to have short-term goals every day basis, every day. You want to become a doctor? Yes. Second PUC, you have to score this much percentage in your academics and you have to clear NEET. These are two long-term goals. These two long-term goals, you have to cut down into n number of short-term goals. Every day, what you're supposed to do, which module or which topic you're supposed to read. And when you're determined to meet your goal, and provided you set small measurable goals, it really does help to keep you accountable. Now, let me give you a few examples, what you can do, what you can take into account for smaller short-term goals, For example, lose 1 kg of weight in 1 week. See, it is not a difficult task. If you are planning to lose weight, it is not at all a difficult task to lose 1 kg in 1 week. I'm not talking about 1 kg in 1 day. I'm talking about 1 kg in 1 week. You have to sign up for training course. In order to lose this weight, what are you supposed to do? You have to sign up for a training course. You have to go for a walk every day. You have to drink 5 to 6 glasses of water every day. Yes, all these are the short-term goals, what you're supposed to plan. Yes. Now, this is very important. Decide what you want and see it. You have to, as I told you, there should be clarity in your dream. You should decide, this is my dream, and you have to see it. For example, the activity which we performed in the starting, by closing your eyes and visualizing that you are an IPS officer or a doctor, or you have joined military or Indian Air Force, you have to visualize it. Until and unless you visualize it, you have to see yourself in that uniform, and you have to step into it mentally day after day. You have written down something, you close that book and you keep it inside the drawer. It does not work out like that. Every day's progress is very, very, very important. Okay. Yes. And these two things change your life. What are these? Either something new comes into your life, or something new comes from within. Something new comes from within. Now, when I talk about this, are you going to wait until something new comes into your life? Okay, I am going to be an entrepreneur, and I am going to wait for an investor. Or he is going to come from that respective place on that what you call it as some unknown day, some day completely which is undefined. You tell that I'm going to wait for that investor. You tell that, okay, I'm going to wait for these many days. I have already told that person for a job. Once he responds, then I will go and join for the job. In case of exams also, I am going to wait till the last day of your examination, and before one day I'm going to start preparing for my exams. Are you going to do that? No. There is something within you, within you have a dream, which you have to identify. Please, I'm concentrating to this respective aspect. Please try to understand. You have a dream within. You just have to figure out what is that. There is an impulse. That is within you. You have to identify that. You have to follow that. You have to manifest that. You have to access that. You have a desire for something better in your life. Don't wait for chances that are going to come in later stages. Start working from now itself. So these are the two things that are going to change your life. Yes. Now, there is a small concept in engineering, that is civil engineering. As I've told that I am a lecturer, or I am a teacher of civil engineering. There is something called as characteristics of a force. There are 4 points what you can see. First one is point of application. second one is line of action, third one is direction, and fourth one is magnitude. These are the 4 points what we have. Okay, now I have cancelled force here and I have written goal here. I could easily relate characteristics of a force to characteristics of a goal. See, my goal need to have a proper point of application, a point where which I have to stress myself, a point where which I have to focus myself. I want to become this person in life. Yes, I have to focus onto that respective parameter or that respective designation. Line of action. Now, in order to achieve that goal, I should follow a proper line of action. There should not be deviations. There should not be Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media networking coming in between my goal or coming in between my dream. So I need to have a proper line of action. I need to have a proper direction, a proper path. I need to have a proper magnitude. Magnitude is also a very important parameter here because it depends on how much magnitude or how much intensity you're going to work towards the goal. If your intensity is less, obviously you're not going to achieve that goal. Your intensity should be very, very, very high in order to achieve that respective goal. So this is how I tried relating characteristics of a force to a characteristics of a goal. Now we have few motivational stories. We have few motivational stories that we are going to understand here. Success stories or motivational stories. The first motivational story what we have here. Can you guys recognize who is this person onto the screen, and please type into the chat box. Can you guys please identify who is this person here in the uniform and type in the chat box? Excellent, excellent. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, Tabarak Fatima. Now let us just focus. What was her dream and what did she do in her career and how did she succeed in her life? This person here is Tabarak Fatima. She is an engineer by profession. She has done information science from BNMIT and she pursued her business administration and management in IIM Bangalore. She has worked for 3 years as a software engineer and assistant manager for a period of few months. Then later she realized that this was not her dream. She started working towards the government examinations. She started writing. She started preparing for government examinations. Now you know her as Assistant Commissioner of Police Tabarak Fatima. She is none other than Assistant Commissioner of Police Tabarak Fatima. Yes. Now, I hope everybody sees this person. This person is Muhammad Rafi. He is a sub-inspector in Telangana. There was a video which was viral in social media regarding his training. Now let me stop my screen share for a minute and share a video. Everybody is able to see the video? Yes? Can somebody quickly respond? Yes?
Not yet started.
1 minute, sir, 1 minute. I have to start sharing my screen again. Yes, 1 minute. Give me a minute. Let me just share his video to you.
You need to share the audio also from the desktop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll do that. Can you guys see the video now? Is it visible?
No, sir.
Okay,
Only the page, yeah, the folder we can see. You cannot see the video.
yeah. 1 minute. I'll just stop my screen sharing. Then I'll start sharing again. Give me a minute.
Al-Bilad.
Now I guess you're able to see the screen. Yes, visible, right?
गैर जानिबदार नहीं.
It's visible. Let's stop.
Yeah. So you're able to see here, this is Sub Inspector Muhammad Rafi, and his video was trending in social media networking. He has so much spirit. His enthusiasm is towards the highest peak level. He's giving training to cadets. So you can just see how his spirit and how active he is in his involvement as a sub inspector role. Yes, sir. Now, this was with respect to his video, which was trending. This is Sub Inspector Muhammad Rafi from Telangana. Now, I have a question for everyone. Do you recognize this person sitting in the auto rickshaw? Everybody is able to see the screen, right? You are able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's available, but showing auto rickshaw meter.
Yes.
Not
I want the person, the white shirt person. Can you please identify this person? Who is he?
Might be the auto rickshaw driver.
Yes, he is an auto rickshaw driver, no doubt. But
Father of
now,
Muhammad Rafi.
Muhammad Rafi, no, he's not father of Muhammad Rafi. You're right, but he's father of, let me give you a small hint. He's father of Indian pace bowler. Can you please tell me now, who is he?
Muhammad Imran.
No,
Hyderabad.
Indian pace bowler.
Hyderabad bowler, right? Siraj.
Excellent. He is none other than he's the father of Muhammad Siraj. How happy might be his father when he sees his child representing the Indian cricket team. He is representing the Indian cricket team as a pace bowler. He's the father of Muhammad Siraj. Now let me focus a little bit on his career. How difficult. You can see his father is an auto rickshaw driver. Now his son has reached to levels. He is he represents Indian cricket team. He's a fast bowler. Okay. Now there was a time when he used to play Ranji Trophy matches, Ranji Trophy cricket matches, and his father used to give him 70 rupees as his pocket money. 70 rupees as his pocket. 70 rupees as his pocket money every day. And he did not have a very big, huge car. He had a Platina bike. And there was one more thing which was there with reference to Platina bike, that is his kickstart was broken. So the only way to start his bike was to push the bike and start it. So during Ranji Trophy matches, he used to, as the training was over or as the matches were over, he used to wait outside until all his friends used to leave. All his other friends used to come in cars. So he had a Platina bike. He was not embarrassed that he had a Platina bike, but he was embarrassed to push the bike and start. He did not have a Kickstarter. That was his condition. Now, when all his friends used to go from the Ranji Trophy matches, later at the last, He used to push the bike and start it. Then he used to reach the home. Now he is representing the Indian cricket team, Mohammad Siraj. Now similarly, we have same quiz here. Do you recognize this person here? Can somebody tell me who is this? Can you guess the person?
Maybe Sachin Tendulkar.
He looks similar to Sachin, but no. He's a professional footballer. Can you please guess now? Excellent.
Ronaldo.
Yes, excellent. He's Ronaldo. He's none other than Ronaldo. Now, if we put a light on his on his childhood or on his adulthood, we will try to we can understand that his house was so small, he was so poor that they did not have place to keep washing machine inside their house. They had to keep washing machine onto the roof. Their house was so small, and his mom used to sweep the streets and she used to cook food in other houses. But he had a dream. He was so desperate to become a professional footballer, he did not give up on his dream. And he once quoted, he always used to play with whatever boots that he used to get from his cousins or from his brothers, any old boots. And once he was signed with Manchester United, the rest is history. There is a GIF. It is not playing. You can see this. Once he was signed for Manchester United, everybody knows. And in an interview, the interviewer asked him, "How many cars did your father have?" He told, "I don't know." He told one or two. He told, but that too not a normal car, small cars which children used to play. Now the same question he asks him, and that how many cars do you have? He tells, "I don't know." He does not even know the number of cars that he has. That is how he has achieved his dream. Yes, let us move on. Can you guess this person?
Gail.
No. He's a sportsman. That is true. He's a sportsman, but it is not Gail.
Really?
Footballer.
No. He's now we will be able to identify this person.
Bolt.
Yes.
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. Yes, excellent. He is Usain Bolt. He holds 3 world records. One is 100 meters, one is 200 meters, and one is 4 into 100 meters relay. These are the 3 world records that he holds. And let me tell you, in his professional career, he has not run more than 5 minutes. Let me give you an example. 100 meters is approximately 10 seconds. If he has run that for 3 times, 10 into 3 is 30 seconds. 200 meters is for 20 seconds. That you multiply with 3, it approximately makes 1 minute. And 400 meters is 40 seconds. That approximately makes 1.5 minutes. Not more than 5 minutes he has ran. But what is the training that is required for these less than 5 minutes that he has given his best? These are thousands together of hours. Dedicated training, and he tells in an interview that he never gets scared. Anyone in front of him is running with a full speed, he does not get scared and he easily beats him. That was said by Usain Bolt. Now I have a small video which I wanted to show you with Usain Bolt. I'll just share it in a minute. Everybody's able to see my screen video visible?
Yeah,
Yeah, done.
but voice. Yeah, coming.
There was
Voice.
still time for a speck of an island in the Caribbean to have the final say. The 4x100 meters relay.
Jamaica have got to get moving here. The factor changes are good. Freighter with it, and Freighter will be handing it to Blake. But Gatlin's gone well, and now Tyson Gay. That's a decent change, but Blake's now right on the Americans. These two. Here he goes.
Now he had a dream. You might have seen the other three, they were running with a slow pace. But when the relay was given in his hand, he had a dream to conquer everything, beat everyone who was there on the track. The others also could have made a difference. No, but he had that respective mindset which he had built, which made him to gain the world record in relay as well. So he is none other than Usain Bolt. Now, do you recognize who is this? Who is this person here?
Mr. Bean.
Excellent. He is Mr. Bean. He is none other than Mr. Bean. And his yes, thank you so much. His real name is Rowan Atkinson. Have you ever given a thought what might be his qualification? He was from a very poor family. His father was a farmer. Okay, and he suffered terribly as a child because of his stammering. He had stammering. While he used to communicate, there was stammering which was keeping him backwards. One of his teachers once said, there was nothing outstanding about him. I didn't expect him to become a fantastic scientist, but he proved everyone wrong. He joined Oxford College, Oxford in England, that is Oxford University. He did his graduation in electrical engineering. Then he fell in love in acting. And then he continued with his master's in the same university, Oxford University in electrical engineering. Until then, he had identified that he had tremendous amount of affection and love towards acting. But his stammering came into way. It stopped his career of acting. He went into n number of comedy serials or comedy acts, and he was rejected. He was completely rejected because of his stammering. And he understood, he worked within himself, he understood that he used to stammer whenever he was acting himself. Whenever he used to do some other role apart from himself, he never used to stammer. His stammering was completely disappeared. His stammering was completely disappeared when he had taken another role. Now, despite of his n number of rejections, he never stopped. He had a great passion for making people laugh. Now, when he started, everybody might have seen his series, videos of Mr. Bean. He never used to talk. And soon he realized that his stammering got disappeared when he had to play a different role apart from himself. Now we know him for his strange, surreal, and non-speaking character. He is none other than Mr. Bean. And he has a net worth of $130 million. Yes, so here's Mr. Bean. Now, there is a very legend kid here. Do you recognize this photo, and can you please tell me who is this?
APJ Abdul Kalam.
Excellent, excellent. The small kid here whom you see is none other than APJ Abdul Kalam. APJ Abdul Kalam. And I hope everybody knows that he used to deliver newspapers when he was very young. At a very young age, he understood that his family could not afford a proper livelihood. So he and his cousin brother used to deliver newspapers. Now, let me tell you his simplicity that he had. He in his service only had 6 pants, 2 DRDO uniforms, 4 shirts. 4 shirts might be our cupboards might be full with clothes. I'm not sure. I'm just quoting this. He had 3 suits. One is Western and 2 Indian. He had 2,500 books. 1 flat which he donated, 1 Padma Shri, 1 Padma Bhushan, 1 Bharat Ratna, and 48 doctorates in his name. Humility and simple living are the best cornerstones one can learn from his entire life and career. He is none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, let me give you an example of his humility and simple living. Let me share a small video to you. Give me a minute. Can everybody see the video? Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So that was an example of his simplicity. Yes. And he was born in a state of Tamil Nadu. He was born in a poor family. And he understood that he had to make his livelihood. And there is involvement of parents also into chiseling the future of a child. Her mother used to save kerosene because in earlier days, there were no lights in his village where he used to stay. So his mom used to save little bit of kerosene because Kalam extended his studies till 11 o'clock. 7 to 9 o'clock, they used to have kerosene lit lamps. Okay, but he extended his studies till 11 o'clock. So her mom used to save a little bit of kerosene for him so that he could continue his education easily. And there was an instance which I want to share with you. He used to get up early morning in 4 o'clock, at 4 o'clock. Early morning, he used to get up at 4 o'clock. He used to take bath because his maths teacher had a condition. Before you come to class, you have to take bath at 4 o'clock and then you have to come to class. And that maths teacher had only 5 students. Okay, so he used to get up at 4 o'clock, take bath, go attend maths tuitions. Followed by that, as soon as he finished his maths tutorials, he used to deliver the newspapers. Now his school also supported very much, and he has reached this respectful position in his life. He was our former president, that is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who served as the 11th president since 2002 till 2007. And his parents, that is Zainal Abidin and Ashia Mai, they never gave a thought that their child will be the president of India, that he will be representing the presidential designation of the whole nation, of the whole country. He is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So he once quoted, "You cannot change your future, but you can change your habits, and surely your habits will change your future." You get up at 7 o'clock, you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, if you're not going to change your habits, definitely you're not going to change your future. Very well said by Dr. Abdul Kalam. And these are the important points which we learn from these inspirational success stories. The first one, what we have is rejection should never stop you. Failure is not a problem at all. People who reject you are mostly unaware of your capabilities. You go for an interview, you get rejected. You go for a second round of second interview in some other company, you get rejected. You go for a third interview, you get rejected. But that is the important point. People who reject you, they are mostly unaware of your capabilities, what you are capable of. Believing in yourself is key to success in life. You always need to believe in yourself. The previous slide which I had shown you, I do make a difference, that you need to inherit, that you need to imbibe inside you. When you imbibe these kind of things inside you, definitely you will get a better result. Now you have understood where you stand, what we are, what is your condition, where you stand in your career, in your education, in your relationship. Now you have to make a jump. Are you ready to make a jump? Are you ready to take the risk? There is definitely a risk that is involved. Without sacrifice, you will not be able to achieve anything in your life. Are you ready to make the jump? Yes. Now, moving on to the last part of the presentation, there is a small elephant story which I wanted to share. Okay, a man was passing by the elephants, and he suddenly stopped. Confusing by the fact that these huge creatures, huge elephants, were being held by a small rope or a small chain that was tied to their leg. And no big cages, no big chains were there for such a huge animal. And he was very curious to know, why is the elephant not trying to break free from the chain or from the rope? And he waited for some time. He saw a trainer nearby and he asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, the trainer said, when they were very young, when the elephants were very young, when they were very small, we used the same size rope to tie them or to hold them. And that respective rope was enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break this rope or they cannot break this chain. Like the elephants, how many of us go through life hanging onto a belief that we cannot do something? See, definitely people will say you that you cannot do anything, you cannot achieve anything, you are useless. Definitely they will criticize you. But basically you have to put courage inside you. You have to make sure that you have that belief in doing something great. You have that belief in achieving your dream, manifesting your dream, nurture your dream. Yes, you have to do that. If you are acting like this elephant who thinks that he cannot break this rope, even if when he has grown big, he has a belief. See, his belief is so huge, so big, so large, even the size of the elephant does not matter here. So his belief has conquered his complete shape and size, or how large be the elephant, it is not able to conquer that. He is not able to clear that fear. So this was a story with reference to elephant. You can't just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream. Golden dream is not going to fall into your hands from somewhere from the sky or from somewhere from some other person. No, it is not going to happen. You have to understand that it is not going to happen. You yourself have to make it happen for yourself. Yes, you have to make it happen for your own self. Now I have a small GIF which I wanted to play. So that was a video telling us that we have to try again until and unless we succeed in life, achieving our goals, achieving our dreams to the fullest. There was somewhere across 8 to 10 attempts which were made by that girl. She made 8 to 10 attempts, and there was no altering that was happening with respect to dream or that respect to a goal. It might be a short-term goal for her. She was jumping from one respective position onto this chair, and she did not alter it. She did not come front, or she did not go back, or she did not reduce the level of the chair. No, she did not do that. She was trying. She knew that she will be able to do it at some or the other point of time. So we need to have that in our mind as well as in our hearts. So want to be successful in life, we got to change our mindsets. We have got to change our mindsets. We got to practice OQP, only quality people. So we need to have a surrounding, or we need to have friends who are quality oriented. For example, with reference to education, with reference to colleagues who are motivated, who are growing very good. Yes, we need to have these kind of people around us. And develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. You tell the world who you are. Now, according to me, dream here is an abbreviation of D is for dedication, R here is the radiance that you're going to give after you conquer your dream. E here is the eagerness to learn new things in your life. A is the accomplishment, and M is motivation. There is nothing as such as I can't do it. You can, everything is possible. Everything is possible. See, basically, before I end this presentation, I want to tell you, I basically tell my students that the next president or the prime minister of the country might be from this class. He might be sitting in the last bench. He might be sitting in the last to first bench. Yes, definitely. I believe, as a teacher, I believe that he can make a difference. But I am not sure about your belief. See, I believe, my belief is completely different from yours. So you have to improve your qualities. You have to improve your habits in order to match up to my belief. You understanding? Now, I would like to end my presentation by saying a last quote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. If you fail, never give up, because fail means F here stands for first, A here stands for attempt in learning. First attempt in learning. Failure does not mean that we have to stop. I've seen n number of students failing in 10th standard, and they quit their education. I don't know for what reason they quit their education. 1 subject, 2 subject, 3 subject. You should never stop. I had a friend of mine who had got 5 backlogs in his first semester. 5 backlogs. 5 subjects he had failed in his first semester. And in the second semester, we basically have 8 subjects in a semester. In the second semester, he cleared 8 plus 5, 13 subjects at one shot or at one go. Possible. Everything is possible when you reach out to that with your full potential. Thank you so much for giving me such a great opportunity. I hope students and other participants get benefited from my presentation. And if you have any suggestions or guidance, you can contact me on this respective email ID, sy.faraz.s@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you. Saif sir. Can I get few inputs from the audience if you wanted to ask few questions or yes. See, the basic intention of the presentation here was to motivate students. So we have to motivate them in such a way. We have to inspire them. We have to inspire them by giving them, showing them these successful stories, okay, where they have faced all difficulty. Everything was there, even in their life. They were not created special, or they were not born special. Okay, they faced challenges, they conquered it, and they have reached in this respective designation or in this respective position. Yes, anybody wants to tell anything? Please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how do you define the vision? I mean, what vision is the right vision? How can you conclude?
When it comes to concluding this presentation, basically, we have to motivate students with reference to the inspirational stories or success stories. We have to understand. We have to monitor students in such a way. We have to understand what is his dreams. I'm not sure whether schools are doing this or what. We have to identify each and every student's dream, and we have to chisel it. We have to work on it. When we work on them, definitely we are going to get very good results out of it. Because while we see in engineering, we don't find students who have dreams. They don't have dreams. Only very few students have dreams of becoming an entrepreneur, becoming an engineer, becoming a doctor. Yes, it is like that. Yes, I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Any other questions from the participants?
How can one find his dream? For example, if you have some younger ones, so how exactly we can find what exactly are they looking at, or what exactly is their passion? Because passion is the one that will drive one to work whatever he want to work and go forward. So whenever we see our younger ones, so we need to find what exact their passion is. So how can one find the passion in someone, like what exact passion he holds, so that we can work on it, or give him a direction of that?
Excellent question, sir. Excellent question. And see, basically, we have to understand what he is good at. What he is good at. See, basically, dream will come to us. It will not come to us when we are young or when we are adults. Yes, it depends. Because I have shared a story with you with reference to Tabarak Fatima, or it might be with respect to Ronaldo, or it might be with respect to Siraj. They had their dreams. They had got their dreams at that particular point of time. We just have to focus on to what are his pros and what are his cons. We have to see what is he good at. Is he good at programming? See, simply pushing him towards programming in order to complete his graduation, or simply pushing him towards engineering in order to make him an engineer, does not serve the purpose. So we have to understand what are his pros and cons. Definitely he will have something within it. We need to work on it. We need to work on it, and we need to understand what he is good at. At some point of time, yes, you will definitely identify, or he himself will definitely identify, yes, this is where I have to stop and I have to follow my passion. I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Yeah, basically you're saying we have to identify their strengths and work on
yes, that. Yes, we have to identify on their strengths and work on that. Yes, very true.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience?
One more question. So
yes, sir.
We see a gradual fluctuation in the dedication, or keeping up the interest with whoever it might be. Like, for example, whenever we discuss something, like we have to do something like this, and we have to go ahead with the plan. So for a couple of weeks or something, we'll be having a good amount of interest, a good amount of dedication that we can dedicate a lot of time for that and go ahead, like break our normal life cycle, lifestyle, and like I mean to say, we'll push ourselves for some days so as to achieve that. But how to keep up that motivation for a longer run?
Yes, sir. I got your question. See, basically, we have n number of distraction nowadays in this. As of now, there are n number of distractions. For example, it might be with reference to social media, Facebook, Instagram, or any other sites that you take. See, basically, that is the reason I told you, you need to jot it down. You need to jot it down. What is your dream? You have to see, I and you cannot forcefully tell him, you do this, you write it down in a notebook, or you have to continuously write down what are your goals, what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals, and try working on it. I and you cannot do that. That has to come from within that respective person. So how will that come? That basically will come when we are getting disconnected from social media. Maximum of the time we are spending with social media networks. That is the main this thing which we have to stop. I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, any other questions from the participants?
I have a question about the upgrading ourselves.
Yes, sir.
So, as the technology keeps on and growing very faster.
Yes, sir.
So, learning, I mean, at a faster pace, it will be a bit difficult while managing the professional and personal lives.
Yes, sir.
So, so do you have any suggestion that how we can make ourselves upgrade? I mean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got your question. What you can do is you can plan short-term goals weekly basis. As I had told you, every day, if you're not able to do it, if you're not able to do it on daily basis, you can do it weekly basis. Suppose you have a small course of say these many number of hours, so you have to dedicate little bit, for example, 2 to 3 hours of your week in order to understand that course. And I know it is very difficult to manage work with reference to work balance as well as with respect to family, and again growing. It is a very tedious process and becomes very difficult. But you have to take out a little bit of time where you dedicate this to learning new softwares, because technology is now we have a different technology. After a few days, we will have a new technology. So understanding this new technology, again, we require to invest some of our time to understand that respective technology. I hope I've answered your question, sir. So weekly wise, you can make up goals, short-term goals. Weekly wise, you can make up, or if that is also not possible, 15 days once you can make up your short-term goals. At least you will reach that in a period of 3 months or 4 months, if not daily basis.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, any other questions from the audience? Saif sir, can we end the session? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the. Thank you.
Thank you so much and appreciate.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Hello, Saif sir.